Good evening and welcome to Shatliff Tonight. It is Monday, November 4th, 2024. I hope that everybody is keeping well and safe. This is the first of 5 evening editions of Shatliff Tonight, as well as a very special live streaming programme tomorrow evening from 10 o'clock that will go right through into the early and possibly late hours as we prepare for the US election 2024, Harris versus Trump. Our programme tomorrow, which I'll tell you more about in a few moments, will be called America Decides, the World Holds Its Breath, which is certainly something which is definitely happening, because whatever happens in America affects the rest of the world. But in particular, there are 3 very, very important things that will come from this election. That is what's going to happen as far as Ukraine is concerned, the trouble in the Middle East, and the special relationship here in the United Kingdom with America. That's on top of all other different points that affect different countries throughout the world from whatever happens in America. We'll have a roundup of the latest news headlines, and I'll be telling you all about what's going to be happening on tomorrow's program. We won't be going completely non-stop from 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. We'll have regular updates as we did during the general election campaign. It has been a few weeks since I last did a broadcast due to various different things going on, but I'll be making up for that over the course of the next week. Also on Wednesday, once the results are all known for the US election, the new leader of the Conservative Party, Kemi Badenoch, will be making her debut as Conservative leader at Prime Minister's Questions as leader of the opposition. That will be taking place at 12 o'clock on Wednesday. So I'll still be up from the night before. I'll be having a special lunchtime programme, which will be known as Ben Shatliff Today. So you can join me. I'll be telling you more about that as well in due course. Let's take a look at the headlines as they are on this Monday evening, and we'll go to the Sky News app, to the ITV News app first of all. And this is of course dominated by the US elections. Harris and Trump make final push as election campaign enters last day. With just hours until Americans cast their ballots, a dramatic presidential campaign is in its final push. The race, marked by the unprecedented felony trial, assassination attempts, and a late shake-up on the Democratic ticket, now centres on a handful of battleground states poised to decide the election. Kamala Harris, the Democratic nominee, is spending Monday in Pennsylvania and wrapping up with a rally in Philadelphia featuring Lady Gaga and Oprah Winfrey. The current vice president hopes to turn out voters in the state's 19 electoral votes, a critical prize in the electoral college race. Now, the results show Harris holding 47%, while with Trump at 44%, according to pollsters Des Moines Register and Mediacom. The results fails within the margin of sampling error, as there is no clear leader. The poll's findings mark a shift from September, when 47% of likely voters backed Trump, to 43% for Harris. Meanwhile, Trump is holding rallies across 3 states, including stops in Pennsylvania and a finale in Michigan at midnight. Both candidates are urging millions more Americans to join the 77 million who have already submitted mail-in ballots to postal votes, with either outcome promising an historic result. And this a special report from Central Carrier from ITV News is also on the app. It's saying it's 6 a.m. and they're at the wall on the US-Mexican border where America's divisions over immigration are laid bare. In this election, the wall has reinforced the fundamental fault line separating blue from red America. Today we are accompanying Tim Doherty from Tuscan Samaritans as he looks for migrants for help, and you can actually see more of that on the ITV News app. Away from America, and Barcelona has been placed on red alert for heavy rain as the country braces for more extreme and continued rainfall following deadly floods in Valencia last week. Flights have been diverted and trains suspended as authorities have warned people to exercise extreme caution, restrict travel and stay away from flood-prone areas. EMET, Spain's National Weather Service, put the Barcelona coastline on the highest alert due to the risk of an accumulated rainfall of 180 millimetres in just 12 hours. Baix Llobregat and surrounding areas are expected to be the most affected. It comes just days after more than 200 people died after flash floods tore through towns and villages in southern and eastern Spain. University tuition fees are set to rise in England by £285 for the first time in 8 years to secure the future of higher education, the government has announced. The university fee cap will now be £9,535 from April 2025, Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson said on Monday. The maximum maintenance loan will also be raised by £414 per year starting in the 2025 to 2026 academic year. Shaded as a lower fee limit of £5,760 will be introduced for foundation degrees. More than 7,000 buildings across England with dangerous cladding are yet to be identified, and some might never be, the National Audit Office, the NAO, has said. Figures up to the end of September showed there were 4,821 residential buildings of at least 11 metres in height identified with unsafe cladding. The total is thought to account for more than 250,000 individual homes. Let's go now onto the Sky News app. They, of course, will be dominated by the US elections. It's also saying about what the Trump presidency could mean for global wars, which is what I was talking about as well earlier on. We'll come back to the US election in just a few moments, but I also want to give some more updates on what's happening in relation to the new shadow cabinet. The new Tory leader Kemi Badenoch is announcing her shadow cabinet following her election victory over the weekend. And it says that we are updating this post to find out who her top team are. We're expecting to complete the lineup by Tuesday morning. Mel Stride, who was also one of the runners for the Conservative leadership, he's now the Shadow Chancellor. He was the former Work and Pension Secretary and ran to be party leader. Another one that ran for party leader, David Patel, is now the Shadow Foreign Secretary. A big comeback for the ex-Home Secretary, and she was one of this big leadership rivals. And Laura Trott is Shadow Education Secretary. She was the Chief Secretary to the Treasurer under Rishi Sunak, and she was involved in the debate earlier on when it was announced about tuition fees. Other appointments include Nigel Huddleston and Dominic Johnson as joint party chairman. Neil O'Brien joins Ms Trott as a shadow education minister. Of course, there'll be more news on that as and when that comes in as well. Right. I'm not going to stay on too long tonight. I want to give an update on what's happening in the Nordic news. We mustn't forget, of course, what is happening in Ukraine. It doesn't make the news headlines now as much as what it used to be. but that war is still going on. Of course, in Manchester, every Saturday we hold a rally. Manchester stands with Ukraine between 2 and 3 at St. Peter's Square in Manchester. Please come along to show your support for Ukraine. We are there every week and will be up until this war ends, possibly beyond, making sure peace, stability, and freedom is there for Ukraine. And of course, the war, what's happening in the Middle East with Israel, Gaza, and Lebanon, and we all know that each of these, which we are just talking about here, can easily be affected by whoever wins in this US election tomorrow. Now, we will not know until at some stage on Wednesday, at the very, very earliest, who it is that is likely to be the next president of the United States of America. Tomorrow evening at 10 o'clock, I will be explaining the full course of the evening about what's going to be happening, the seats that are, well, the states that we're looking at, it's all been completely different in America compared to what it's been over here. So it's not a case of saying right who's the majority in that war, that seat and all that kind of stuff. It's who gets to the magic 270 electoral college votes, and we'll go through all that tomorrow evening. I'm still getting my head around certain things, even though I've been kind of, in some cases, giving updates during the election campaigns, but this will be the third one where I've been doing kind of like Friday night coverage. We did YouTube back in 2020 and on other forms of social media back in 2016. But what I will do is give a prediction, like I normally do when it comes to an election ad, as to who I think is going to win. And I'm going to give you, just say to something now, that has altered over the space of different times, just like it did with the general election in the United Kingdom just a few months ago. So I'll give you who I think will win tomorrow evening, just also to not deliberately trying to blow my own trumpet, but the last two US elections I have given a prediction and both have ended up being spot on. 2016 was known by about 7:30 in the morning, or well, just before that. 2020 was known on the Saturday afternoon. That's why I said I'm not going to do complete non-stop coverage, because on Saturday afternoon I'll be somewhere else. But there's a lot of stuff which is happening this week. I've already mentioned there the first PNQs as well for the new Conservative leader, Kenny Badenoch, so we'll also do coverage in relation to that as well on Wednesday. So we will be here from 10 o'clock tomorrow evening in a slightly different setting than what we normally are. Even though we have a big clean-up around us in the background, we use a different setting for the overnight coverage. But I will also be here tomorrow evening to give you an update on how things are going in the world of news and a kind of preview for the evening. So you can join me tomorrow evening at 7:30 for that preview as well. So another Ben Shatliff Tonight tomorrow evening. We'll be looking at those key states during the election and the election programme, during the overnight coverage. We don't expect anything until the early hours of the morning, could be 2 or 3 o'clock, something like that. And then we can get indications. But as I said, I'll be giving you my predictions, so what I think will happen. That will be just as we come on air at 10 o'clock tomorrow evening. If you are watching from America or anywhere else in the world and want to join in the election coverage tomorrow evening, then we do have other ways in which you can do things. We can use Microsoft Teams to have 2 or 3 people on, as long as everybody keeps it friendly. Even if people have differences of opinions, then you are more than welcome. So please drop me an email, inquiries@benjaminfshatliff.com. That's inquiries@benjaminfshatliff.com, and come on to the programme. You are more than welcome. If not, I can also give you comments if you do want to leave a message or something like that, and to give an opinion. Then again, you can be interactive with people. You can leave messages, and we'll also have a look at what's happening, what people are saying from all the other different media outlets as well. So it's going to be a very interesting and exciting evening. It does happen every so often where you might get 2 or 3 late nights in one particular year. It happened in 2016. There was Brexit, then there was the US election a few months later. Um, we had a general election in 2017 here in the United Kingdom, and in 2019. So in 2020 it was just one evening when it was a late night. This year, of course, it's happened twice. Thankfully, it's not direct. They happened very, very close together. There was one 40 year ago when I thought we'd be having a Halloween general election and then a bonfire night US election. Can you imagine that it literally would be a ball if there was that scenario? But anyway, whatever the situation, we will be here tomorrow evening providing updates. So please join me tomorrow evening at 7:30 and then again tomorrow evening at 10 o'clock for America Decides. The world holds its breath. For now, enjoy the rest of this evening. If you're going to be staying up watching those US election results, you might want to get yourself an early night and possibly, definitely more than 1 or 2 days off work to make sure that you're all charged up and ready. And of course, don't forget, of course, on Sunday as well, because of course I have mentioned it is a very, very big week this week. It is, of course, Remembrance Sunday as well. From me and everybody else involved, Ben Shatliff Tonight, Ben Shatliff on Sunday, Ben Shatliff Online, good night, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye for now.